aerial apparatus. Another very interesting competition lies ahead, and Monica, two youngsters that we've been looking forward to seeing in action in this women's asymmetric bar.
Oh yes, the Chinese girl Liao Li, really brilliant, and Amanda Borden, who had a fabulous debut in two pieces. She fell on the floor but was a good gymnast and didn't make the final, but it'll be a delight to see her matched against Dominique Dawes, because whilst Dominique Dawes looked terrific, we were looking at her amongst 70 or 80 gymnasts. Now, when it's whittled down to the top 8, we can really scrutinise the difference, and my money will go on Liao Li if she gets right the way through the routine. But again, the Chinese always suspect temperament. And then, of course, Kochetkova, Dina Kochetkova of Russia. If Liao was to fall, I think that I'd put Dina in second place. But it's going to be a very exciting, in fact, two finals, really exciting. Andreas Wecker has always been second. Second in the 92 World Championships, second in the 91 World Championships, second in the 89 World Championships. So really, he's always been the bridesmaid.
So the starting list for the women's asymmetric bar final. Milicevic will start the action. Podkopayeva, then Amanda Borden, one that we've noted to watch out for. Kochetkova, we've seen in action in the vault. Then this Chinese wonder girl, Liao Li. Dominique Dawes looks to keep America. And Nadia Hatagan, who was also very impressive in the women's all-around competition. Dan Berinca, I should say, from Romania, looks to keep their very impressive record alive. Koslani of Hungary. Then Andreas Wecker, 3 times second. He's chosen not to compete in the all-around in his quest for gold. And right down at the end of the men's final, number 191, Yuri Keki, the defending world champion, really is in great form. The 24-year-old from Prato, looking to become the first ever Italian to win 2 back-to-back world championship golds. Well, each competitor is allowed a warm-up, and there warming up is Andreas Wecker, the 24-year-old from Berlin, who really has had a wonderful career, but never a gold medal in the rings.
No, and we would normally call him Mr. Biceps, but I think that we'd have to call them Mr. Biceps number 1, 2, 3 to 8, because being on rings, they all have very well-developed biceps. And of course, on rings, we have the veteran of the competition, the oldest man in the competition, haven't we? Paul O'Neill is 28. And there, the asymmetric bar warm-up. And Milicevic first up on the asymmetric bars. And Podkopayeva, who we saw come to grief on vault, has got her second opportunity. This Amanda Borden in view at the moment. First look at her in a final, and indeed the first final she's ever reached in the big international scene. But really, she's got huge competition. She'll be very, very lucky to get into the medals. But the stress will be so great between all of the competitors that let's hope we don't have too many forced errors.
280, Paul O'Neill, the 28-year-old from Denver in Colorado. And the coaches all working alongside their athletes in their warm-up, making sure everything's in the right position. Kochetkova from Russia, just 14 years of age.
I can remember years ago when the warm-up was a free-for-all, and gymnasts weren't timed, and it was the first up on the apparatus, and the tussles that used to go on between the Romanians and the Russians. They used to practically hang on each other's legs to drag each other off the apparatus. And the coaches used to have to referee, but it's all very, very civilized now. A man there with a stopwatch to organize the gymnasts.
The Ukraine, Rustam Charipov, number 274. And there is Lavinia Milicevic. First up, the world champion in this apparatus.
And Octavian Ballou just getting as much chalk on that top bar as possible before Milicevic starts her exercise.
Milicevic, 5th position in the World Championships a year ago in Birmingham. And also in the Olympic Games, where she really was so strong. Only down in 4th place there. So, possibly an Achilles' heels for Milicevic. She's already been pushed out of that gold medal position and into bronze by Gojin in the first of the 2 apparatus. And she'll look to make amends now, you can rest assured.
Shapovalnikova mount. She really has got to keep her arms straight and get positively through the handstand phases. The Ginger and that undershoot on the bottom bar could have cost her, but the straddle, she didn't have bent legs. Squared up after the full. Good Kachev. Looks like a better routine than we had in the all-around events. Oh dear, and that's Milicevic out. In one foul swoop, she plummets into 8th position. That is, unless anybody else has a greater disaster than that.
It was gold in Paris in '92. She's already claimed 2 World Championship medals here in '94 in Brisbane, Australia. But in her last piece of the day, well, a disaster for the Romanian.
But you know why that was? In the overall event, she totally over-rotated her dismount, which is a double front. And so what she tried to do there was stall it and under-rotate it, and she did. And she came down heels first, and she couldn't get her shoulders over. She just had too little rotation.
Lavinia Milicevic of Romania throws the women's asymmetric bar final wide open as we begin with the first competitor in the men's rings final, Dan Berința of Romania. 5th in the Worlds 1993, and the Romanian team certainly enjoying their work today with 2 gold medals out of a possible 5. And the Romanian looking to try and make it 3.
And boy, what a strong Romanian challenge this is. Any movement that is held parallel to the actual rings is of the maximum difficulty. So it gives you a clue as to how good he is. No angle at all in the shoulders, straight arm pressed down to the pike half lever. Easy transition into the handstand. That has to be held for 2 seconds. He's not staying there to get his balance. And he also has to hold another handstand from the swing, which he didn't. Feet still, but waved his arms around a bit. And if it's a personal best, jolly good luck to him, but I don't think it'll be good enough to get him into, might squeeze into bronze medal, but it's very much dependent on what we see from the others.
Well, his teammate Marius Urzica was first out in the pommel horse and managed to stay in first position throughout the final, but not as tough a battle for Urzica as there is for Berința. Now, Berința has an opportunity. Milicevic, well, 9.250, first position, as she is the first of the 8 finalists, but, well, you can guarantee she won't hold on to a medal with that score. Lilia Podkopaeva for the Ukraine.
Nice Stolder combination, Podkopaeva, a lovely gymnast. Few little faults to iron out, but we're going to see a lot of her in the future. Split legs on the full pirouette in the giant. Bent legs on the Ginger, all gone wrong. Extra swing into the undershoot. And she could go into 8th place because what she's lost so far is equivalent, if not more than a fall. But the end result, perhaps not so catastrophic. But she could actually drop lower in score from the extra swing and the knee bends than Milicevic. We'll see where they occur. No, we're not going to see any more of that slow motion. Just the dismount. Full twisting double back. But I think that the judges might meet on that one and look upon it and say, look, well, she had faults that were major, but she didn't fall.
9.700 is a very impressive start on the rings for the Romanian. Well, there's some talent to come in this competition, but he certainly has put the pressure on the 7 opponents in the rings final. And another very impressive performer, Sylvester Kolslany of Hungary, a silver medalist in the World Championships of '92, also a bronze medalist in the Europeans. So the 23-year-old from Sopron needs to better 9.700 if he's to take the lead away from the Romanian.
Yeah, Sholiny will undisputedly be a strong challenger for this title. And a pity we didn't see him in the pommel horse previously, where he had a bad qualification round. The one thing that doesn't go in Sholiny's favour is his leg and foot line. Wonderful difficulty. Oh yes. And the audacity of the amount of difficult skills he's added together is incredible. But he just spoils it by his booty leg line. You'd think he'd work on his feet a little bit more. Nice swing to handstand. Got to hold it for 2 seconds. Full twisting, double back. Yes. Clean. Strong, but I don't think as impressive as Yuri Cecchi. I think the battle of the giants is yet to come between Cecchi and Andreas Wecker.
A final of the utmost quality here in Brisbane, with any one of those 8 finalists in a position to claim gold. Yuri Cecchi of Italy, the defending world champion, will be the last of the 8 to perform, as Sylvester Kolslany of Hungary awaits his score. 9.700, remember, is the best, and 9.350 is now the best in the women's asymmetric bars. Well, this is one of the youngsters that we've been looking forward to see perform again. Amanda Borden of the United States of America, 16-year-old from Cincinnati in Ohio.
I've just noticed the silence in the podium. And that, oh dear, missed the Jaeger. I was just about to say everybody is intrigued because they haven't seen her before. And so all eyes on Amanda Borden, but not quite coping. Pull yourself together. Looks a little bit tearful, but she must just get on with it. Look, on the positive side, she's got into a World Championship final, and that is great. Beautiful high Kachev. She's recovered well. She's got years ahead of her. She's only 16. Landed the double front better than Milicevic, she must say to herself. Never mind the fall. It's over and done with. She's not going to get into the medals, but 4 routines and 3 routines and 3 calamities so far.
So, still anybody's for the taking. The gold medal in the asymmetric bars. Disappointing for young Amanda Borden. And she really did hit the ground very hard indeed there.
Next on rings, ladies and gentlemen.
Remember, when they can see that dismount, and if they see they're going to miss the bar, they train it to flat front drop on a crash mat. So to you it looks really drastic, but she stayed straight. She knew she was going to miss the bar.
9.587, second position. Romania still leads in the men's rings final. But the competition is by no means over for this gold medal. Andreas Wecker, 24 years of age. He's had a silver medal in 3 consecutive World Championships. He's chosen not to compete in the all-around as part of his preparation and quest to claim gold in this rings final.
And this is not an easy task for the judges, because there's so little to choose between Cecchi and Andreas Wecker. Swing to inverted cross. He could go deeper than there if his shoulders were totally horizontal with the rings. We'll have to watch when Cecchi does his, although our angle isn't superb. Down to planche at ring height. Straight into piked cross. Nice transition to handstand. Forward giant to handstand. A second forward giant. Could have been a missed one, the first one. Double layout. Well, two forward giants at the end of a routine? That is debatable. Because he wanted a change of direction, and the first forward giant could just have over-rotated. But I don't know his routine that well.
Well, one thing that we do know of Andries Wecker is the strength is just amazing.
Nice dislocation there, swing up to the handstand. Good double layout, got plenty of width at the ankles there, beyond hip width apart, to give him a nice sturdy landing.
9.05.04 for young Amanda Borden. Well, hopefully she'll gain from that experience of her first World Championship final. She can only improve. Kochetkova of Russia. The competition still wide open in the A-bars.
This could be the 1984 world champion, if the Chinese is suspect. Beautiful. Front uprise on the high bar into the clear. Bent knees on the stoop on though, letting the feet go a little slack. Her first final in a big event and a brilliant debut. Absolutely brilliant. I bet Leonid Arkeyev will be very, very proud of her. Yes.
Kochetkova already collected a bronze medal in the all-around competition, and she scored 9.825 there. And if she can find anything like that scoring in this individual final, she'll be on target to add gold to her bronze.
Tends to be a little bit slack around her feet at the end of the big skills, but I thought in the all-around event they were a little bit mean on her score in comparison to Miller and Milicevic, because it's a superb routine and it only needs Lao Li to fall.
Wecker has not taken the lead and has gone second. Dan Berezina still leads in the men's rings.
Jordan Jovchev from Bulgaria, and I think that extra forward giant of Wecker's might have cost him. Struggling to get down deep in that inverted cross. Pressing up, losing the tension in his back. Loses marks for that. Again, a strong, slow press. Men really fussy about the shapes, and so they should be. That's what gymnastics is all about, a slack back. You see, he's arresting and disguising shortage of rotation by arching his back. Under par routine there.
Jordan Jovchev of Bulgaria, 21-year-old from Plovdiv. Certainly will not be challenging the leaders in this rings competition. Dan Berezina of Romania, 9.700, and poor Andries Wecker finds himself in runner-up position again, 9.687, but he could find himself dropping into a bronze or even lower with Belenki and of course the defending world champion from Italy, Yuri Cecchi, still to come.
Yes, I would think that he'd have some heavy penalties. 9.85, Kochetkova into first place. But will it be enough? Because to follow her, we've got Lao Li, the Chinese girl, who is absolutely superb. And she goes for broke. She takes so much risk that if she goes wrong, she couldn't save the moves.
Well, it's starting to warm up now in both of these competitions. The asymmetric bars for the women a little open early on, but now Dina Kochetkova has set the pace at 9.850, 9.400, fourth position for Jordan Jovchev, I'll get it right, fourth position there, which does not affect the leading 1, 2 and 3. Wecker is second, Dan Berezina of Romania is in top spot. Next competitor up to bring us into the second half of this 8-man final in the rings is Paul O'Neill, a 28-year-old from Denver in Colorado, coached by Ron Brandt, fourth in this rings exercise in the World Championships of 1992. A lot of experience, and the American will need to draw upon it now.
That shouldn't be allowed. He's got black socks on, and he's got dreadful feet, and we can hardly see them. He can't stretch them. The black trousers, all right, but they should be made to wear white socks. Very bad for television. You can could just about see his shape as he went around in the double straight in between the rings. Shoulder angle not quite open in the handstand. Very strong guy. Double layout. And he is pleased. Absolutely delighted that he's got through. O'Neill didn't appear in the all-around event, but I think that his shapes through his transitions, despite the fact that he's immensely strong, aren't material to take him into the top 3 in this field.
Very strange choice of colour for his work suit there. I'm sure the judges are thinking exactly the same as us. We couldn't see anything. I don't know whether it's a ploy or that's the national team colouring, but, well, the choice really baffles me there. Back to the asymmetric bars. Liu Li, winner of the qualification competition in brilliant style. Now, can she do it again? She needs to better 9.850. Kochetkova leads for Russia.
And she's capable of doing it. 1.5 to invert, stoop through, dislocation, forward giant in pike, Jaeger. Going well, and different work. One and a half pirouette, straight into Kachev. Undershoot to handstand. Slight knee slacking as she bounces off the 2 feet through. She's got to land the dismount. So far, she's got the gold. Yes, that's got to take the gold. Brilliant performance there from Liu Li from China. And she punches the air with delight. Absolutely splendid performance. And that really is coping with the pressure, which we don't often see from the Chinese, because she didn't do the all-around event. It's her only final. So she was only going to appear in the stadium for 45 to 50 seconds on the apparatus, and she got it right. And I'm sure that that will overhaul Kochetkova, despite the fact that Kochetkova's routine was brilliant too. A little bit of a slack knee on the double layout, but she had so much difficulty and so much...
Paul O'Neill goes into first position, 9.725, and there'll be talk of that one for many a time to come. Valeri Belenki, well, Monica Phelps alongside me in the commentary box here, shaking her head at that score, and I have to admit, there was a clear difference in the quality of Dan Barinsa and Paul O'Neill, but the judges' score is final. It's not for us to question that. And America takes the lead in the rings as Belenki for Germany tries to get ahead of O'Neill. 9.725 is the target.
You can't compare Paul O'Neill's leg extension to that. That's what we should see. Absolute extension. Leading up with the heels in that lift rather than with the straight body, and it should be a straight arm, straight bodied lift. Belenki does look superb on rings, even if his shapes go a little bit out. Full twisting double back. And he really does have a dodgy ankle, but landed right down. No problem on the landing. Smiled until he walked away, and then he really did feel it. A little pike into the first shape and then an arch into this lift.
Ladies and gentlemen, on
Nice lift and good tension out of the rings on that dismount. Very good tension out of the rings, but the dock there for Bilenki's ankle.
First position, and look at that, 9.912. Not only the best score in the asymmetric bars, the best score of these championships, and Liu Li from China surely will not have that gold medal denied her now. Dominique Dawes of the United States of America needs to perform now the A-bars routine of her life to score above 9.9.
There's no way Dawes can catch that. She's just not good enough. Clip the bottom bar there. Yes, it's great gymnastics, absolutely fabulous. In my book, I'm not a judge, but just to give a guideline of the possibility of an opinion, third place, but just not good enough to take over. If we saw her in slow motion, she's got lots of hand shifts, not when she's pirouetting. The first move when she went from a Shapovalnikova, she moved her hand along the bars twice, but no disputing a brilliant dismount from Dawes and wonderful gymnastics. But we just happen to have had two better routines.
Bilenki has gone into second position, 9.700. Which leaves Paul O'Neill of the United States of America still on target. The defending champion is to come, but the 28-year-old from Denver in Colorado leads the men's rings with two competitors to bring the competition to a close. The first of those two from the Ukraine, Rustam Charipov, 23-year-old from Dushanbe. He's got good form, 6th in the World Championships in this apparatus a year ago, 4th in the Europeans, and Charipov needs to better 9.725 if he is to take the lead away from the USA.
It's a nice, deep, inverted cross. And repeating it and pressing up to handstand. Down to scale at ring level. And this one of the musts. Press to handstand, forward giant. Gutsoki piked, that's double somersault between the rings. Full twisting double, but a jump back on the landing. But another master on rings. Charipov, such a beautiful gymnast. He has brilliant shapes, lovely lines, brings an elegance to rings that, in my book, the leader of the pack doesn't have so far, or doesn't have at all.
From Romania, Nadia Herzegan.
Dominique Dawes, 9.775, goes into the bronze medal position with Liu Li of China with that magnificent 9.912, still in the gold medal position. Possibly Romania could get amongst the medals here. Nadia Herzegan, very impressive in the all-around competition, and another European junior champion that really has made a great impact at these World Championships.
Oh dear, and gone on the Marinic. We've seen Marinic perform on the pommels, and he was the guy who introduced that move to the world on the high bar, and has been copied and transferred onto the A-bars. Very difficult move. Change of direction into a somersault. But she really has lost her sparkle and her desire after that. Having to work hard. Arm bend into the handstand. The blind change. Double front. Large step afterwards. Well, if she'd fulfilled the Marinic, because nobody else is doing it in the final, she might have overhauled Dawes. Nadia Herzegan, long, shows good lines, beautiful skill, absolutely beautiful, but she just didn't have enough foot height when she transferred the somersault. Have to move the hips into position to haul herself into a front somersault to catch in between the legs.
Well, as Lavinia Milicevic comes to the end of her career, Nadia Hatigan is ready to step into her shoes, and another European junior stepping up. 9.600, Rustam Charipov in a controversial rings final. This is the one that we've all been waiting to see. The hard man from Prato, Juri Kecki, the world champion, also the 1992 European champion, looking to become the first Italian to successfully defend a world gymnastic title.
Well, strength is the name of the game on rings. Still rings they're called, so they mustn't swing. And that is skill of the highest order, from a swinging and right down into that horizontal cross. And if he continues like this, he will take the gold medal. Oh. Strength hold after strength hold. And into another 2-second hold. Then the kip to the half lever. Press to handstand. It's not over yet, he really has to concentrate. I think that's a stress point. I think that's where Andreas Wecker went wrong on the last move. Double layout. Well, for my money, that's the world champion retaining his title. We'll just have to see whether the judges deem it good enough to overhaul Paul O'Neill.
And for my opinion as well, this is the master in action.
Lovely strength planche there. There's the overhead. Nice straight arms. Good release. Little movement of the arms, but not a murmur. And to the A-bars. Sorry, not to the A-bars. Anticipated, yes, to the A-bars. Svetlana Chorkina from Russia, the last performer. 4 gymnasts have fallen out of 8 in this final. Bad position to watch bars from. Bad camera angle. Can't really detect bent arms. Nice transition there from top to bottom bar after the 1.5 twist. Full pirouette straddle between the bars and the giant. No deduction for that. Shapozney. The name has escaped me. Full in, back out, over bar height. Absolutely brilliant work. The Markelov as the movement she did in the middle of the bar routine. I just lost it for a moment, having seen the Maranich in the previous routine. For my money, that's the bronze medal performance, above Dominique Dawes.
To fill you in on the scorings and exactly what Svetlana Chorkina, who's already claimed a silver medal in the vault competition. The leading score is Liu Li, 9.912. Kochetkova, 9.850, currently holds silver medal position, and the American 9.775. Dominique Dawes lies third with the bronze.
On reflection, I think it's even possible that it can go up into second.
9.787, and that's a big sigh of relief for many of us here, because we certainly did not agree with the judges on the American scoring, and Juri Kecki of Italy has retained his world title, and for 2 years running has held on to the privilege or the title as the best rings apparatus performer in the world. Nadia Hattigan there, upset 6th position, 9.137. Definitely a name for the notebook and one to watch out for the future. But there he is, clenches that fist. We've seen him happy, we've seen him very annoyed over the past 5 days. But Keke is the world champion for the 2nd successive year. So we await now Svetlana Khorkina, silver medal, 9.875, her 2nd of the day. Well, hopefully she'll give us a smile now. But Monica, you spotted that one, you said it was a great performance, and that really is good judging, good marking, and a good finale to the women's A-Bars final.
Yes, brilliant. I mean, I'd almost forgotten about the possibility that she could creep into 2nd, but when I sat back after stating it was going to beat Dawes and reflected on the difficulty in the routine, I thought, yes, that has got to be number 2. But a brilliant bar final, exciting, a bit disastrous for 4 of the gymnasts, and it's left a few poor kids in tears, but they've got a future. I mean, Nadia Hattigan, she's young, she's only in her 15th year. Dominique Dawes got through everything. She thought ought to be highly pleased with herself. Kochetkova only 14 and a medalist. Amanda Borden, her first ever big final, and despite the fall, she's 8th in the world, in the top 8 in the world, and that's a great achievement, absolutely brilliant achievement.
Well, a gripping rings final in the men's apparatus, which brings us to the end of the action from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Tomorrow we have another 3 apparatus for the men and another 2 for the girls. Number 191, Yuri Keke, has claimed his 2nd successive World Championship gold medal, and in the same amount of years. And what a great performance. Very interesting to note that the American Paul O'Neill, wearing that very controversial black tracksuit, has claimed the silver medal, and good to see congratulations from many of the world's top coaches.
And absolutely superb there from Chechi, because he isn't on a high, he's almost flat. He's built himself up to such a degree expecting to take that gold medal, and he really is almost flat. He can't believe it.
The classified, or the official result, Keke 9.787. O'Neill, a great finish for him, claiming the silver. Borinsa and Belenki in joint 3rd position on 9.700. Andreas Wecker, well, that mistake in the middle of his routine knocked him down and out of the medals. 5th position, Charipov, Kozlony and Yovchev for Bulgaria, the last of the 8 finalists. Congratulations to Yuri Keke and to the Italian Gymnastic Federation. Liu Li from China, we knew that there was a possibility after we'd seen this amazing newcomer in the qualification round. Khorkina, her 2nd silver medal of the day, and Kochetkova, well, a bronze medal for her to go with her bronze from the all-around competition. Dominique Dawes for the United States of America, 4th position, Podkopaeva, Nadia Hattigan, and some of the big names towards the end of those top 8 finalists in the competition. We'll take a short commercial break from Brisbane in Australia, but we'll be back with more gymnastic action, and we'll take a look back at possibly the most exciting decision of the day, the men's floor, and it'll give you another opportunity to see that silver medal from our own Neil Thomas. Stay with us, there's more action to come from the Artistic Gymnastic World